Hello again, it's Tuppence and I've got my frog mould out again for Froggy Friday. So a week or so back I did a frog which was on the top of a crystal ball, and I used a little bit of UV resin to swirl around the inside of a sphere mould to create the crystal ball. And I wondered if I could do the same kind of thing with a frog to create a shell. So I had a go. And unfortunately my camera failed to record it, but this is what I ended up with. And you can see that it has worked, but I do have areas where I just didn't get the UV resin, so I end up with some holes and some gaps. I still think he's pretty cool, so I thought I would have another go and see if I could do something similar, but I'm going to step it up a little bit. And this time I'm going to use some of this mesh. I think it's called deco mesh. And I'm hoping to use the UV resin to kind of decoupage on the inside, or like papier mache really. So I'm going to start by chopping up the bits, and this is all I have left. So I'm going to start by chopping up some of the pieces into tiny squares, and hopefully that will make it easier for me to start to decoupage on the inside of this and just get it to fit into all of those tiny little places. It's quite curved, there's lots of curves in the mould. So I'll carry on chopping this up and I'll be back when I've got a nice little pile for me to work with. Okay, that ought to be enough for now. I don't know how much I'm going to need because I've never done this before. So I'm going to start by putting a little bit of UV resin into a cup. I'm using Limino, the brand Limino. I'm quite liking that. And I'm thinking the best thing to do is to apply this with a brush, and I'll paint a little bit of UV resin in. I'm going to fill under the chin first. So I'll put some UV resin onto the mould, spread that out with the brush, and then I can try and stick that square down. And I'm going to pat some UV resin on the top, and hopefully that will fill in those little holes and it should suction that into place. And that looks like it's working. It is sticking on the inside there. So hopefully I'll be able to cover a few areas. It's not the easiest place for me to show you what I'm doing. So let me grab another piece and I'll do it on the back first so I can show you exactly what I'm doing, and then I can fill in the harder areas off camera. So I'm going to pop that down and I'm just going to pat the UV resin on top. And because it is a mesh, there's lots of little holes. Hopefully the resin will get trapped in those holes and it will hold it down. Let me see if I can grab another bit. So if I can do a few layers, or a few pieces even, just overlap them so that they are covering completely. And then once I've got a little bit done, I'll put this underneath the lamp and cure it. Just arrange it where I want it to be, and then tap the UV resin on top. And it is pretty much finding the shape of the mould, so that's cool. Just make sure they overlap, and I'm not going to do too many before I cure it, so I don't want to knock them out of shape every time I pick up the frog and put it underneath the lamp. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit, and then I'm going to do most of this off camera, but you're going to know what I'm doing, and we'll see if we get a successful demold once I've done this. The area of the head is so curved that I had to cut the pieces up into even smaller chunks, and I put them in the cup of resin and let them soak up the resin, and that made things a little bit easier. Just picked them up with my brush and then patted them into place. The worst places to try and do this are the arms, the hips and the legs. It's such tight curves and the pieces don't really want to take those curves. The mesh is quite stiff, so the best thing I could do was to push it against the curve with my microbrush stick and use the torch to set that in place. 10-15 seconds of shining it in place and it has stuck to the mould, taken on the shape, and then I just add a little bit more UV resin, make sure that that stays where it needs to be. Okay, I think I have everything covered now, and it is a little bit difficult to see because the mesh is the same colour as the mould, and the glitter doesn't go all the way over it. That's the bit that you can see. But I've also got a pretty good layer of UV resin. But if I press the mould, you can see it's still slightly flexible along the back and on the edges here. So I think I do need to put a little bit more UV resin in. I've completely filled the toes and the feet because those areas were just too small to get the mesh into, and I wanted those to be solid. And you can see that there are little bits of mesh sticking up around the edges, so I'm going to need to trim that a little bit later. But for now, I want to add a little bit more UV resin to give this some more strength on the inside. Oop, I've got a few loose pieces of mesh that obviously didn't get stuck down. So I'm just going to run a bead of the resin along the back. That was where it was a little bit bendy, and I might as well put these in and then I can stick these down. So I'm just going to strengthen some of the areas that were bendy, so that's that area at the back and along the sides. And I'll use my torch to partially cure this, and once I stop that UV resin from running around, I can pop this underneath my dual side UV lamp, and then I'll cure this for about 5 minutes. And then hopefully I'll be able to get this out in one piece. I let the frog cool down after I cured it before I tried to take it out the mould, and believe me, that took a heck of a time to get this out. It was pretty difficult to pull the mould away from that mesh without tearing it. So I struggled a little bit, which is why I've sped this up for you. And there were a couple of places, like on the other foot, where I just hadn't filled in enough of the UV resin. So once I realised what happened, I just put that back in the mould, topped it up with some UV resin, and then popped that back underneath the lamp to cure. But finally I was able to get it off, and it's intact. And I now have a ghost shell of a frog. I think it looks really cool, and I really love the effect, despite all the hard work that had to go into it. So there's a couple of areas I just need to neaten up, and it looks like I've got a little bit of a gap there, but I think I can live with that, maybe fix that in a minute. For the most part, I think this is pretty cool. So I'm going to add a little bit more decoration to that in a minute, but first I want to show you how I'm going to fix the other one. Okay, even though I lost the footage on this one, it's still too good not to save. So I'm going to try and fill in some of these holes, and I'm going to use this scrap of silicone that I have to help me do that. This is just when I was making a mould, I had a bit left over. So I've got an Aurora powder. I'm not sure it's the same one I used, but I'm going to try and mix up a little bit of that, and then hopefully I can fill in those gaps. Okay, the resin's all mixed, so I'm going to take this scrap of silicone and I'm just going to push this up against the back of the hole, and then I can fill in as best I can the hole, and I'll cure this with my torch. And once I've got everything partially cured and filled in, I can pop this back underneath the UV lamp, and hopefully I'll have a complete frog. Okay, just curing the last little bit now. Take that silicone mould out. I just cut it smaller to fit into the areas. And yeah, I've managed to plug in all of those gaps. So now I have a second complete ghost shell of a frog. Okay, now to decorate them. So I'm going to decoupage, and I need to print my own sheets. So I've got some tissue paper. This is just the same stuff that you use for gift wrap. And I've got a sheet of A4 copy paper. I'm going to spray this with this stuff. This is paper pattern spray. It is for sewers. This is by Crafter's Companion. You spray this onto the back of your paper pattern, and then you can iron it onto fabric and it will stick. So I just need to coat this copy paper with one good spray. Make sure I get it all covered all the way to the edges. I would normally do this anywhere but on top of my workstation, and I do need to hold the spray a little bit further away, but just for the camera I can't really pull that back any further. So now I just need to leave this to completely dry, and once it's dry it is not particularly sticky, but it is activated by heat. So when I iron on my sheet of tissue paper, I'll just pop that down, I'll use my easy press to iron it on, it will activate the heat, and it will hold that paper, that tissue paper, onto the printer paper so that I can run that through my printer with no problem. Okay, that is now all dry and you can see it's not sticking to my hand at all. The surface of the paper is a little rough, but that's all. So now I've got a sheet of the tissue paper and I've cut it. It's a little bit bigger than the copy paper and it's got a shiny side and a matte side. I'm putting the matte side down. I'm going to print on the slightly shiny side. So I'm just going to lay that on top and roughly smooth that out. Try and make sure that I'm going to be covering all of that printer paper. Just reposition it. Okay, and now I've got a little mini easy press. You can use an iron, anything. And I'm just going to iron this smooth so that it attaches to all edges of the paper. I think I had the temperature a little too high, so I've just turned it down a little bit. I'm trying to get it as smooth as I possibly can. Get all of the worst of the wrinkles and the bubbles out and make sure that all of the corners and the edges are attached. That's what's really important. Now I just need to take a pair of scissors and trim this to fit the paper, and it needs to be exactly the same size as your A4 sheet, nothing hanging over the edges, and then it won't snag on the printer as it goes through. I've got an Epson WF 2010 and it's a rear sheet feeder, and I'm printing it using plain paper and standard print, nothing special. Okay, I've printed a sheet of webs and now I just need to very carefully peel this off the back. So you still need to be careful, the tissue paper's pretty thin and delicate, but it should peel back nicely. Just take your time. I had a spot of excess glue there, so I've got one little tear, but that's okay, I can patch that. So now I've got webs and I've made duplicates of the ones that I want. Decoupage blends better if you can fray the edges rather than just simply blunt cut them. So I'm going around the outside with a paintbrush and some water, painting a line so that I can remove the excess tissue paper that I don't want from around the image. Then I'm going to hold the image firmly and I'm going to pull the tissue paper away from it. That way I can protect the image and hopefully I won't tear anything. You can see you get a really nice frayed edge and this should blend in a little better. Once I've trimmed my image out, I'm going to make sure that I get rid of as much as I can of that excess tissue paper, even if it means going back in with a little bit more water. And then I'm going to set this aside and I want this to be completely dry before I try and stick this onto my frog, because I'm going to use UV resin to decoupage this on. Okay, I have got my gloves on and I'm going to be sticking this down to my frog with the print side down. And I'm just testing that this is going to fit where I want it to, and it looks pretty good. So I need a little bit of UV resin and that's what I'm going to use as the glue to stick this onto my frog. I'm going to spread a little bit of the UV resin onto the frog and this will act as a glue just to hold my tissue paper in place. Make sure I cover enough of the area and then I can put the image down, print side down, and then I'm going to brush over a coat of the resin. And you're going to see that the tissue paper will disappear and all you're going to see is the actual web image itself. I'm going to make sure that I brush enough resin on and that will soak into the piece and hold it down. Now I have got to chase this around some curves, so I do need to push out any of the lumps and the crinkles, and sometimes you might have to cut the image so that you can get it to follow the curve of your object. So I'm going to try and cut along one of the lines and that way it shouldn't be too obvious, and you just fold the pieces over on top of each other and it allows you to get a pretty seamless look. So it is pretty slippy because it is all covered in resin and that makes it a little bit more easy to manipulate it around. Once I'm happy that I've got this where I want it to be and that it's as smooth as I can possibly get it, I'm going to cure this straight away. I don't want it to move before I do the other pieces. one final thing to make before I finished, and that is a spider. So I'm cutting 4 equal pieces of floristry wire, and they're about an inch. And then I'm bundling them together, and I'm going to tie them in the middle with another piece of wire. Make sure that is tight and twist it together. Once I have that secure, I'll open those out and they'll be the legs of my spider. I'm going to cover the tips of my fingers with some of the Vaseline, because I'm using some UV clay, also known as nail builder gel. And I'm just going to take a small ball and pop that on the top and shape it into a head and an abdomen of a spider, right in the middle of those legs. And then I'll pop this underneath my UV lamp and cure it. I'll bend the legs into shape using some pliers and trim them with snippers. Then I can give this a coat of black UV nail gel and seal it with a top coat. So Froggy Friday is a weekly collaboration hosted by Lisa and Karen and assisted by Loula, Gert and Tim. You'll find a link to the playlist in the description box underneath this video. And the final thing I want to add to my frog is the spider, and I'm going to put that one on the mesh one. So I've put the spider on the back, and because it's see-through I can shine the torch up underneath to cure it. Okay, that appears to be stuck on, so they're my frogs. I don't know whether to call them ghost shell frogs or cobweb frogs, but I think they are pretty cool. So they are hollow, they're really light, and of course because it is hollow I can stick some lights underneath it, and everything's better with lights. If you've loved this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't. You can scan the QR code on the screen and you'll be able to join my channel. It's free, it will help me, and you can come back and see what I'm going to make next time. Thank you so much for watching and take care. Bye.